Hi everyone. Today I will be talking about a static variable and instance variable in Java with example. So what is static variable in Java? A static variable is shared by all instances of the class, while an instance variable is unique to each instance of the class. A static variable is created only once when the class loader loads the class. The syntax of a static variable can be declared as follows. Static is the keyword, int is the primitive type, and x is the variable name that I have defined. And an instance variable is a property of an instance. It is created every time an instance is created. The syntax is as follows. Now, let me demonstrate this with an example. I am creating an instance variable of type int with a variable name of x. I'm giving it a value of 200. This is an instance variable. Now, let me define a static variable. Using the keyword static, following by a primitive type, I'm giving it a value of 300. This is my static variable. So now I have defined an instance variable and a static variable. Let me try accessing these two variables from a different class. Now I'm in my main method. For accessing an instance variable, I would have to create an instance of class A. Let me create another object of class A. I have two objects created, A and A1. So I have two objects. Now, let me print out the value of x of these two objects. So, a.x is of this object. This should print out 200. And a1.x is from this object. This should print out 200 as well. Now, let's say I would like to change the value of x of this object. I can change it as follows, a1.x equals to 300. Now, let me print out the value, what it would be. So, because I have changed the value of a1.x to 300, this should give me an output of 300. Because the value of the object A1 has been changed, that is the reason why it will give me an output of 300. But the value of A.x remains the same because it's an instance variable. As you can see, an instance variable is unique to each instance of the class. Even though I'm changing it for this object, the value for this object remains the same. Now, let me print it out and see. So as you can see, it prints 200, 200, and 300. Now, let's try for a static variable. So a.y should give me the value of 300. And a1.y should give me the value of 300 as well. So let me just change the value of a1.x so it just doesn't get confused with the static variable value. I will change it to 500. Okay. Now let's say I want to change the value of the static variable y. I want to change it to the value of 600. So I will declare it as a1.y equals to 600. And let me print it out. Y plus, let's see if the value of a dot y changes as well. The value of a dot y changes as well because this, so when I'm changing the value of the static variable over here, it changes for the whole instances of the class. So a dot y gives me an output of 600 as well. So okay, and this is non-static variable. It's an instance variable. Okay. I will comment it as the changed value is this. Okay. Now this is the static variable. Okay. Now let me try printing this out. So this should give me, I've changed the value to 600, so it should be 600 and then 600 again. So let's see. So as you can see, it's giving me 200 from here and again 200 of this, and then I've changed the value over here. That's why it's giving me the value of 500 over here, and then the static variable which we have declared over here gives me the value of 300 and 300. Okay, and then since we have changed the value of static variable over here, it changes the value of both the objects variable, and that is the reason why we're getting 600 600 two times. So let me just space it out because it's a bit confusing. Okay. Yeah, there we go. We have the static variable values of object A, and A1 is 600. So as you can have two instances created, but for a static variable, the value of the static variable remains the same for all instances, whereas for the instance variable, the value changes for each object. So for this object, I have the value of x as 200, but for this object, I have the value of x as 500 because I have changed it. Okay, now for a static variable, I have the value of both of these objects as 600. Even though I have changed it for the object A1 here, because this is a static variable, it changes for the entire objects of the class. So I hope this explains you the difference between both the variables, static variable and instance variable in Java. I hope this video helps you out. Thank you for watching.